Welcome back to Halo Halo. I'm Iniba, and you are watching America's top entertainment and lifestyle show for Asian Pacific Americans. It's time to spotlight one of our very own talents. Joining us today is filmmaker Walter Boholst. He has a movie coming out, or actually it's already out, titled Voodoo Possession, which stars Danny Trejo. He wrote, he produced, he directed. Take a look at the trailer.
Entry number 7 in Project Resurrection.
The last few days we've been experiencing some oddities. This viscous fluid emanating from the walls appears to be blood.
Doc, I've been hearing things. At night, patients have been disappearing. This place is cursed, and if we don't leave, so are we.
Pack your bags. HI wants us to go to Haiti for a segment.
This place is different.
This village doesn't embrace Western beliefs.
Black magic sorcerer has claimed domain over this place.
You'll find this village has many secrets.
Welcome, Walter.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now, every time I see the trailer, it gives me goosebumps. And I'm not one to like horror films. Like, they don't really scare me. But I think this one, because it has to do with voodoo and spirits,
right.
it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
A lot of people say that.
Tell me what inspired you to write the film.
Well, actually, I met the producer, Mark Berman, at my work. I work at the distributor, or used to work at the distributor, Image Entertainment, and he talked about doing some kind of horror movie. I had a zombie project that I was thinking of, but then he's like, oh, there's a lot of zombie stuff, and this was the time Walking Dead was first coming out.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, no one's really done anything about the world of voodoo. So I thought that was intriguing, and the more I researched it, it was incredibly fascinating. So, the more I researched it, then, we just kind of the story changed a lot, but, in the end, we found something, pretty scary and interesting, I think.
I don't know if your family's like this. I think it's a Filipino thing, or Filipino-American thing, where they're very superstitious and we believe in a lot of spirits and ghosts.
Right.
Is that how your family was? And did you being Filipino-American have a part in writing the film?
A little bit. I mean, I remember the stories, my mom, and especially my grandmother, my Lola, used to say, like if you wake up in the middle of the night, then there's some spirit sitting on your chest, or just like really funny things like that.
Yeah.
So it's very similar in that in voodoo there's a lot of spirits, and each spirit kind of represents a certain thing in your life.
Yeah.
So in the Philippines, there was some stories like that. Although I did try to kind of keep it specifically to voodoo, but there's it shares a lot of things and lots of different religions.
Yeah, I read that you didn't want it to be so stereotypical, though, like where the pins and needles type of voodoo.
Right.
So tell us a little bit more about the plot, because I know it also has to do with family.
Yeah, there's the story's really about it's about a troubled man, Aiden Chase, who has to look for his missing brother in a Haitian insane asylum and finds out all of the patients are possessed by voodoo spirits. So the story has a lot to do with guilt, and I had to find a voodoo spirit that I could build a horror story around. And there's one particular voodoo spirit called Linglasu. He craves buckets of blood, so I was like, okay, that's my horror story right there.
It is, yeah.
So and then he punishes people who go back on their word. The voodoo spirits are very particular about the things that the worlds that they live in. So that's where I kind of built the character arc of the story, is people going back on their word, a sense of guilt, and then it's kind of his journey dealing with his guilt, and then that's when we find out about this sordid past of his family.
Right, and he's out there to save his brother from the insane asylum.
Right. As he searches for his brother, he uncovers his past that he's blocked out as a child. So you kind of peel away the layers of his dark past.
So it's more than just blood and gore and spirits.
Oh yeah. So it's very much so. It's very much a drama rooted in the culture of voodoo, and then what how these spirits affect people that practice it in their daily lives. So I didn't want it just to be blood and you know, running around. So I wanted to really get to the human drama of it. Yeah.
Now, Danny Trejo stars in the film. He creeps me out. He seems so intimidating. How'd you get him to be a part of the film?
Well, producer Mark Berman actually worked on some projects with him. So, you know, it was just a matter of approaching his management and seeing if it was a right fit. But he's actually the nicest guy in the world. I mean, he would joke around like, oh, I always play the mean Chicano guy. And, you know, people, he's like, oh, aren't you going to get stereotyped? He's like, well, I kind of do look like the mean Chicano guy. But on set, he's an absolute pro. Just the nicest guy.
Now, where did you film? Because I know it was set in Haiti, but it's kind of, you didn't go to Haiti, right?
No.
You went right here in Los Angeles, I'm guessing.
We're indie film, so we set up our garage to look like Haiti. No, we actually had 2 main locations. Most of it was shot at the Escarpment, which is like a studio a little just south of downtown. And then the last couple days we shot at Linda Vista Hospital in Boyle Heights, which is supposedly in a haunted abandoned hospital. Yeah, so that was fun.
So what was that like? Any haunted stories that you can tell me about? Scary stories?
Luckily, I stuck near people the whole time. But there was this one time, I think it's like really late at night, and then we were like cleaning up and all the lights had been turned off and everything, and I forgot like something simple, like an apple crate or something, so I had to go back into this dark room and get it. And then there's all these open doors, and it just had this creepiest feeling. I think like after like 11 days of shooting a voodoo horror movie, it finally got to me. And I grabbed it and like ran right out of there.
Are you glad it's over?
Yeah. It got a little spooky. It's just like really heavy and dark. Like, okay, like next, let's do like a comedy or something.
I was going to say, are you going to go back to comedy now?
I'd love to. Just like switch gears in my brain, you know?
Switching gears. You have an event that you're a part of this Saturday.
Yes.
Let's talk about that event.
Yes, this Saturday, I'm on the board of Philam Creative. It's an organization for Filipino Americans and our supporters and friends in entertainment and media. So we're doing a panel of Filipinos in entertainment and media at UC Berkeley on Saturday. So, you know, Joey Gill is going to be there. A lot of the Bay Area entertainment, you know, big people in the Bay Area. So, you know, we're going to talk about underrepresentation and misrepresentation of Filipino Americans in the media. So, and it's great to be up in the Bay Area because a lot of our events are based down here in LA. So we're kind of expanding and getting the word out, and also to the college community because they're the next generation coming up.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for being taking the time to be a part of that event.
Thanks for having me.
And for Voodoo Possession, where can we get a copy or watch it?
You can find it definitely at Redbox, Walmart, Amazon Prime, iTunes, Dish, AT&T Uverse, and a lot of other places home video is sold.
You can pretty much get it anywhere.
Almost,
For more information, we can go to the website on your screen.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Again, to watch Voodoo Possession, the website is on your screen. Time for a quick break, but we have more entertainment and lifestyle news when we return.